Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Two-time RuPaul's Drag Race winner Jinkx Monsoon is stepping into the role of Mama Morton in Candor and Ebb's Chicago for 8 weeks only, beginning on January 16th. And I caught up with Jinkx just days before her first performance here at the Civilian Hotel. The Broadway World fans are out of their minds that you're about to make your Broadway debut.
Well, I'm out of my mind too, so we're all in this together.
How excited are you to be making your Broadway debut in Chicago?
I mean, I'm so excited. I'm over the moon, but I also have a lot of work to do, so it's kind of perfect. There's so much on my plate that I don't have enough time to get anxious or in my head or anything. I've just got a very clear-cut schedule and a very clear-cut job to do, and I'm loving doing it.
Was Broadway always a dream?
Oh,
Somewhere on your bucket
absolutely.
list?
Absolutely. My mom has always told this story, but she said when I was born, she just knew I was going to have a career in front of people. She said, I knew my kid was going to be famous, and she assumed I was going to be a football player. And then she said, as soon as I could talk, she realized no. And so everyone has been talking about Broadway basically since I was 3 years old. And so this is kind of like, this is a manifestation moment.
Well, let's talk about your Mama Morton, because I first fell in love with Mary McCarty in the original and got to know her really well. And to me, you seem like you're going back to Chicago. What's your Mama Morton going to be like?
I think it's Rob said it's very old school in the best way. And old school in a way, some people, I know I crave it, but some fans of musical theater really crave to see contemporary performers bringing some of that old school. I think we love that in our movie stars too, and our TV stars. I think we have this kind of yen and yearning for that golden era of entertainment, especially since so many things have been redone. That's why it's kind of exciting. This isn't something being redone. This is something that was done so well that it's just still going. And I get to be a part of that and bring my own experiences and my own uniqueness, nerve, talent, charisma, all those things into a well-oiled machine.
Well, let's talk about this incredible score. The numbers you get to do by Candor and Ebb are beautiful. Talk about the two numbers that you do.
Okay, so I have been, When You're Good to Mama is drag queen, like compulsory fare. Like every drag queen has a relationship to this song. Class, it's very exciting for me because Michelle Visage and I, who's another Broadway girl, we sang Class, but I sang Velma's part. So now I had to learn the other part, which is challenging when you're used to singing melody. No, I'm joking. It's just been such a great time. This score doesn't have a bad song. It really doesn't. And I'm a fan of Broadway theater, and I have scores that I love, and I skip over tracks. You don't skip over a track on Chicago. It's just one of those scores,
And let's talk about just living in the world of the rehearsal right now, of working on this, what it's meant to you.
It's been this beautiful affirmation, because going into it with so much imposter syndrome and feeling like a country bumpkin from, the drag queen dive bar who's now making her Broadway debut. A dive bar drag queen making her, I'm not a dive bar. I'm making my Broadway debut, and this team has welcomed me in like I've always been here. This team makes me feel like this is like one in many shows I've done. They treat me like I know what I'm doing, and that made the imposter syndrome go away day one. It's really fantastic. I can't speak highly enough about what the rehearsal process has been like.
And you get to do some of those Bob Fosse and Ryan King moves in Mama.
I sneak them in there, Mama's more of a stand and deliver girl, but I have a deep respect for the aesthetic and the style that is unique to Chicago. And I keep telling my friends, they're like, oh yeah, Chicago, well, there's lots of shows like Chicago. I'm like, no one else does it because Chicago does it.
So you're getting ready to move into the theater soon, right?
Yeah, I've rehearsed on stage a couple times. I went and saw the show. Everything is now making sense in my brain, and I think starting tomorrow I'm rehearsing more on the stage. Friday I rehearse with my Velma. It's all getting very real very quickly, and I'm thrilled.
You have millions of fans because of RuPaul's Drag Race. You're in everybody's hearts. And I mean, we all remember that first time you went to a Broadway show was because of a TV star or a film star, and it introduced us to live theater. You're going to introduce a whole new set of people. It'll be like, oh my God, Jinkx Monsoon has come to Broadway. What is it? You're going to introduce them to the musical theater and live theater, what that means to you.
It feels like a wonderful culmination of what I've always strived to do in my work. Especially in my scripted shows with my music partner Major Scales or my collaborator Ben de la Creme. We have been writing shows for the last 8 or so years that we hope brings drag fans in and creates theater fans out of them. If you come in and this is your first drag show, we want you to leave thinking, I like musical theater now, or I could go see a play because drag queens taught me I actually like that kind of stuff. And so I'm hoping that the people who have never seen a musical, never seen anything on Broadway come because they like me, and then they realize this is a really magical thing. You know, like musical theater, live entertainment, it's very, very magical. And it's something you can't get from TV or film. And I love working in all of these mediums, but live entertainment is so special because it only exists that night, and you have to be there to see it.
What are you looking forward to that first performance Monday night with a live audience?
I just don't want to fuck up. You know, this is old hat at this point. I don't think that I get stage fright. I think I get very analytical. I'm a highly anxious Virgo, so all I want to do is do my job really well. And I found that anytime I find myself lost in my head, like, am I doing well? Are they liking it? I just turn my attention on whoever my scene partner is at that moment. Or if my scene partner is the audience, I turn my attention on one audience member as long as I need to get back into the moment I'm presently in. You know, I can't remember which school of acting technique this is, but I think just in life, we all are hungry for being present and authentic right now. This has been a crazy, crazy time in our history, and we are all craving that authenticity between each other right now. And that's what I hope to bring to every performance of Chicago.
Ask her who her favorite
Oh,
producer
here we go.
is.
Who is your favorite Broadway producer?
I think I'd have to say Barry Weissler, right? Yeah. Come in here, Barry. I saw you lurking. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
I think it is such a delicious moment for us, for this lovely actress, and for the show. We're looking forward to this.
Get over here, you fast.